There are on average 2 million weddings in the United States each and every year. And for people of a certain age, well, you can expect to attend anywhere between maybe 5 to 10 weddings in 1 year. I got to say, my daughter Hannah did 13 last year, and 2 of those were destinations. It was costly for her. Author and financial expert Ann Lester joining us via Zoom with tips to budget a wedding season. How you doing, Ann?
How are you? I'm great, thanks.
I'm just glad I didn't have to pay Hannah's way to all 13 of those weddings. But when we're talking about hair, makeup, dress, tux rental, bachelor or bachelorette trips or weekends, it gets costly. What's going on here?
Well, part of it is I think people just think that there's a right way to do things, that they're supposed to do all this stuff. So I guess my part of my advice is you don't have to do it all, and it's okay to say no thank you to some stuff. And I think a really important word here that people don't like using much is budget. Like, you got to figure out how much you can afford to spend and then stick to your guns on that.
Yeah, well, budget's important in all aspects of our life. But when you're giving these people some tips, how can they do a little bit better if they're going to this many weddings?
Well, so first, I think, you generally know about these ahead of time, maybe a year ahead of time. So you should be, and, maybe not everybody has, but ideally you started saving up for them ahead of time and you know how much you can afford. And then I think you have to start working backwards. So if you get 13 invitations, it's a little uncomfortable, but you have to start thinking about what's important. Relationships, showing up. Is it showing up in style? Is it showing up in style with a brand new outfit? Is it making sure you can stay in a nice hotel? Like, you got to start thinking about where your priorities are and probably making some hard decisions. One of the things I always like to keep in mind is that friends don't ask friends to go into debt to attend their wedding.
Yeah, well said indeed. Yeah. So when we're looking at this, is there a way that you can tell them, I can't really do this, I can't be a part of it the way that you might want?
I think that's the hardest thing. It's difficult, I think, for anybody anywhere to say, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And it's even worse if maybe they've attended your wedding, like, talk about awkward. So I think, again, you tend to know about these things ahead of time. I think the kindest thing to do to yourself in the friendship is to have that conversation as honestly and as early as possible, and to say, look, this is going to be really uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable for me. I'm sure it'll be uncomfortable for you. I have some news I have to share, which is that I'm not going to be able to come.
Yeah,
and
I've got to ask real quickly, because we're running out of time. I want to mention your book. What is it, and where can people find it?
My book is called Your Best Financial Life, and they can find it anywhere books are sold, independent bookstores, or on my website at annlester.com.
Hey, it covers a lot of range of areas. We certainly do appreciate it. In this day and age, people need all the help they can financially. Ann, thank you so much for your time, okay?
Thank you.